People say all kinds of stupid shit that they don't realize is subconsciously telling them that they can't do better than what it is that they're currently doing. Things like, it's easier said than done, or must be nice, or if I were you, or if only this, all of those little things. But I think that the worst one is just once won't hurt. Because it's true. If you skip one workout, all of your muscles aren't going to fall off. You're not just going to lose all of your strength. You're not going to atrophy into some small, tiny nothing person. Or if you cheat on your diet once, you're not just going to gain a bunch of weight overnight and suddenly become an obese person. You're not going to lose your abs if you have them. You're not going to lose your cuts or your striations or whatever the fuck it is that you have based on whatever your level of leanness is. You might briefly with the water retention and whatnot, but the next day you'll be perfectly fine again. If you have one drink, you're not going to become an alcoholic. If you have work to do tomorrow and you put that off until the next day, doing that one time will be perfectly fine. Whoever it is that you reschedule will probably understand and it will probably be okay. And all of your work can probably still be done the next day, assuming you're not some form of surgeon or some shit like that. Or if you tell one lie, you're probably not going to get caught. It's probably not going to be the biggest deal in the world. Anything that you do just a single time is not going to have any real effect on you. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to better your situation. It's not going to worsen it. It's not going to fuck up your life, and it's not going to fix your life. And that is what the problem is. It is the fact that doing anything once is okay. Because when you skip that workout, when you are supposed to go to the gym today and you say, no, I'm just going to do it tomorrow instead, you will look at yourself in the mirror the very next day and look exactly like you did. And you will be like, oh, okay, it was fine if I skipped a workout. And subconsciously, what you are telling yourself is that it is okay to skip workouts and there are no repercussions for it. So that will allow you to start doing that single action more and more. And each individual time will be perfectly fine, but all of those actions will stack up together to make you into somebody who went from working out 5 days a week to somebody who used to work out. That's how the people wind up with, well, I used to bench 315 in high school and I used to be super jacked and strong and all of that shit, but they gave the fuck up because they talked themselves out of it. And how did they do it? One day at a time, one missed session at a time, one missed session after the other. And all of those things add up because you are showing yourself that it's okay to do a thing. And once you realize that it's okay to do a thing, it becomes harder to talk yourself out of doing that thing. That is why it is important to stick to your word to yourself, no matter what the fuck it is, no matter how it is that you are feeling in that moment. Because when you skip that workout because you weren't feeling motivated, or you cheat on your diet because you were having that craving, or you put off doing the work that you were supposed to do because you're feeling sad and having a bad mental health day, if you're someone who is especially pussy, then you're showing yourself and making yourself slowly into someone who skips out on things because of these things. Now you have shown yourself that not being motivated is a reason to skip a workout. Now you have shown yourself that cravings are reasons to say fuck your diet. Now you are showing yourself that sadness is a reason to put off of your work. And again, none of the individual times will hurt, but it's not the individual times that make you into who it is that you are. It's all of the individual times stacked together. You're not a procrastinator just because you were born as someone who puts things off. You didn't become a procrastinator because you procrastinated simply one time either. But when you procrastinated that one time, everything was fine. And you showed yourself that procrastination has no real repercussions. So you continuously do these things because they don't have any immediately apparent or obvious repercussions, but they come over time. It is when they are all stacked together that they build up to make you into a procrastinator. It's when all of the drinks that you went to every time you were feeling sad or down or needed something to lift your spirits or to have a hard day, or excuse me, to make yourself feel better after having a hard day at work, or you were on a breakup and you don't want to think about it, so you went and got yourself a couple of shots. It is all of those little individual drinks over time that built you into the alcoholic or the addict. It built you into the fat person. It wasn't a singular meal that made you fat. It was the fact that you went to McDonald's and it was okay and nothing happened that showed you that you can go to McDonald's again and nothing would happen. And again, each individual time, you are absolutely correct, but that is the wrong viewpoint of the thing. Nothing matters just once. Just like they they say? They tell you the exact same thing, putting aside the fact that I think all voting is a fucking lie and a scam anyway. They tell you that all of your votes count, and on an individual level, that's bullshit. Your individual votes absolutely do not count. But what's the thing they say is that if everyone thought that, then nobody would vote, and that's exactly true. It's the individual votes that add up together allegedly to count, to make the thing, and you have no way of knowing whether or not anyone else is going to vote, so it makes the most sense to do it, to go do that yourself, because you want to be part of the collective. But the individual thing doesn't matter. It's the exact same thing with your actions. None of the individual ones matter. When you hit the snooze button and you sleep in, nothing is going to happen. You could probably even sleep in and be late to your job, and it will be perfectly fine if you only do it one time. But because it's fine that you did it one time, you're going to start doing the shit collectively as a whole, because you've just shown yourself that these things are okay to do. And these are not the types of viewpoints that are conducive to you becoming the best version of yourself and becoming someone, excuse me, who is successful in different arenas of life. It is not the actions themselves, but it's the actions that the mindset is cultivating, and the actions that the mindset is, or the, hold up, I fucked that up. It's not the actions themselves, but it's the mindset that the actions are cultivating. And that mindset is one of someone who is okay with not holding their word to themselves. That mindset is the one of someone who is okay with putting things off. That mindset is the one of someone who is okay letting their feelings dictate their actions. That mindset is the one of someone who is okay making exceptions to the rule. And the problem with exceptions to the rule is once you make an exception, you no longer have a rule, because a rule is a black and white thing and exceptions are gray. And now once you introduce the exception, you create infinite shades and infinite possibilities, because if you tell yourself that it's okay to not work out because you're feeling tired, then the question becomes, what is tired? How is it that you define tired? Is it physically? Is it mentally? Is it emotionally? What degree of physical tiredness is it? Is there a degree of mental tiredness or exhaustion that equals physical tiredness? Is there a degree of emotional exhaustion that equals physical tiredness? What about a combination of the three? And then it just becomes all these different possibilities, and that gives you infinite excuses that you can find to do something. That's why black and white binary operating procedures or principles are what it is that's most important. It's going to take you the farthest. I get up at this time every single day. I go to the gym every single day. I stick to my diet every single day, no matter what. I do the work that I'm supposed to do every single day, no matter what. These are the type of principles that you need to establish, because again, as soon as you introduce an exception, it seems like one exception, but it gives you infinite ways out for each and every single one of those things, because now it goes from being clearly defined to this nebulous idea of a thing. And that will very quickly go from I work out every day to I work out when I feel like it to I used to work out a very long time ago, but you managed to talk yourself out of it. And the way that you manage to talk yourself out of it is by doing it just once, and that just once being okay. That is a terrible, terrible fucking saying. And anybody who tells you that just once is okay is trying to lead you down a path that you do not want to go down, and they are trying to prevent you from becoming the best version of you. They are trying to prevent you from accomplishing your goals. Maybe not directly, that might not be the direct intention that they have, but they also lack the self-awareness to understand what it is that telling you that is doing to you. If they did, they wouldn't be saying it to you or saying phrases like just once won't hurt in the beginning, because anyone who takes the time to actually think through what it is that they are saying and think through what it is that they are doing would understand the harm that comes with just once is okay or just once won't hurt. All of that is bullshit. Life, for the most part, and decision making should be very binary. You do and or you don't. These are things that you do, or these are things that you do not do. If this is who it is that you are going to be, then you need to be that person constantly, 100% of the time, absolutely zero exceptions, because the exceptions will be the reason that you wind up no longer being that person. And the exceptions will be the reason that you wind up as somebody who you do not want to be, longing for who it is that you used to be, who it is that you once were. And you fucked all of that up by simply accepting the fact that you could do what you were going to do once.